A Michigan man with a 2008 misdemeanor that was expunged off his records had his guns seized by the ATF for the crime of maybe being convicted in the future. They say that he's barred from owning guns, and now he's suing. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is brought to you today with the help of Blackout Coffee Company and their New Year's buy two get one free sale. Blackout is a small batch coffee roaster based in sunny Florida that supports channels like mine and the Second Amendment. To get a cup that's awake, not woke, go to blackoutcoffee.com/libertydoll and use code NYB2G1 at checkout. 34-year-old Jeremy Wilburn technically has a clean record. Until all this happened with the ATF, he made YouTube videos about gun safety. When he was 19 years old, he was convicted on a domestic violence charge. We don't have the details beyond that it was a misdemeanor and so minor that the judge only put him on probation and ordered him to take a domestic violence class, which is typically just anger management. He has not been in trouble since. Now, he lives in Michigan, and Michigan has had several fairs to help people clear things off their records, people like Wilburn, who otherwise have had a clean slate. And Wilburn had his charge expunged in February of 2022, which means the courts removed the conviction from his record. And one of the first things that he did was go out and buy himself some guns so he could enjoy shooting sports and shoot these YouTube videos. Nevertheless, the feds seized his guns in November, a year and a half later, saying that even though his record is otherwise clean, he may re-offend and be convicted in the future, and thus can't be trusted to own guns. They literally barred him from owning guns over pre-crime. Wilburn's lawyer told Fox 2 Detroit, "It's unfair for them to say he should be forever barred, forever prohibited from carrying a firearm just because he potentially could get a second offense." Now, his lawyer says that he's one of the people that falls into the camp that violent offenders, especially reoffenders, shouldn't own guns. But it's been 15 years since that one and only charge, and there's nothing to indicate that Mr. Wilburn would be a violent reoffender. In fact, 15 years of a clean record could very much argue the opposite. Now, the only place that I could find the full lawsuit so far was behind a paywall that also requires court credentials, which I don't have, so I don't have any further details right now. It's entirely possible that the Fox 2 report is misleading. They are the only outlet reporting on this so far, as it is a local to them story, and it's entirely possible that they are leaving out some major details. We've already seen some court cases which said misdemeanor charges should not preclude people from owning guns, and if he bought the guns and made his videos and enjoyed shooting for a year and a half, he obviously passed the background checks. So something here doesn't add up. Some people argue that expunged records don't fly with the feds, and I have seen that happen. But again, that wouldn't explain how he passed NICS, assuming he isn't an idiot that got illegal guns and then showed them off on YouTube. I couldn't find any details of an arrest record, but again, it happened 15 years ago, so that's probably not on the internet somewhere. In fact, if you Google this guy, almost nothing pops up. At all. That being said, news crews obviously have some strings to pull that I don't, and if it was a horrible, heinous, violent crime, they'd probably be telling us this and not making this little puff piece about Mr. Wilburn. Another facet here is the McCloskeys, who you'll remember them as the folks who stood on the doorsteps with guns when BLM came through their neighborhood. They've been pardoned, but the courts recently ruled that they don't get their seized guns back. Obviously, the circumstances between the two are very different, but obviously when it comes to expunged records or even pardons, some courts have different ideas of what that means when it comes to Second Amendment rights. This lawsuit was filed on December 13th, and as of writing this video, the ATF has yet to respond. On the surface, with the information that we do have, I don't see anything that would indicate that they would win in this case, but I'm sure that more information will come to light. I will certainly be keeping an eye out and looking for any details and updates on this case, as it should be an interesting one to follow. In the meantime, you guys know the drill of all the algorithm things, and as always, thanks for tuning in, and happy shooting.